Okay. All right. Okay. It's exactly 10 minutes past 3 p.m. right here on A Farmers Media, where we are always about one thing only, telling the story of an African farmer. And I don't know how your week has been. It's the fifth day, or rather the ninth day of April. It's a new month, very, very wet month, has so much rain going on. It's a happy day for everyone who is a farmer, because the rains are actually a celebration for farmers, because it's time to do what they gotta do. I don't know what you're doing at home, but we shall be giving you all that right here on this. Um, this is the Farm Drive with me, Conrad Kibe. We shall be talking about today. Actually, we have set aside today to talk about the rains and what you need to do with these rains. Don't let the rains just go like that. We need to do something with the rain so that we can get something good out of the rains, and how to control uh, our farms, and definitely what to plant during this rainy season so that isiende ama isiambulie patupu. All that, remember, also katika kipindi cha lala salama we have the pan of the day, and a very interesting segment, and our new segment, almost 3 weeks old, but we shall be having all that in this show today. But before that, let's go deep into the COVID updates. And the numbers are not looking good since last month began. And as of yesterday, of the updates that were given by MOH, as of yesterday, we had the positive cases that were reported yesterday out of a sample size of 11,352. The positive cases were 1,698, and the fatalities of those who lost their lives were 16, and the recoveries were 456. And also, to go by counties, remember we have the five red zones where the cessation of movement, or rather the curfew time, is at 8 p.m. The five counties, and we have Nairobi is leading with the highest positive cases with the number of 788, and we have Kiambu leading, also coming closely with high numbers of 121. Remember, these are COVID updates as per yesterday, that's the 8th of April. And also Nakuru coming in with a number of 81. And the other red zone or red county is Machakos with a number of 37 positive cases. We have Kajiado with 28. Apart from those five red zones, we also have other counties that are having big numbers. We have Mombasa with 73. We also have Uasin Gishu with 65, Turkana 46, and Kisumu 43, Kitui 41, and also Nyeri coming in with 39 positive cases. Talking about the total cases as from March last year, that is 2020, we are standing at a number of 143,063 positive cases, and the total fatalities, we are standing at 2,292, and for the recoveries, it's 97,650. Those are not numbers that actually encouraging. Remember, we're on our third wave, and the positive rate as per yesterday was 14.6%, and the number of total tested uh, the number of tested people in the country right now standing at 1.54 million tested people. And just to bring in a new segment, remember, we are not causing fear, we are not causing panic, we're just telling people to be safe and just give you statistics as they come in. And as per the age 0 to 9 years, as yesterday we had 57 cases, that is 0 to 9 years, and from 10 to 19 years we had a number of 62 reported cases, positive cases, and 20 to 29 years, we had 228 positive cases. For 30 to 39 years, we had 441 total cases. And for 40 to 49 years, we had 343 positive cases. 50 to 59, we had 268 positive cases. And for 60 years and above, the reported cases were 299. So you can see the positive cases are starting to be a bit larger from the age of 20 to 29 all the way to 60. So everyone in every age, we're having quite a high number of positive cases. So as always, the guidelines given by MOH and WHO, remember to wear your mask properly. Not just wear your mask, but wear your mask properly. Remember to sanitize if necessary. If you're getting out of your house or the comfort of your house, you're going to a public office, remember to sanitize. And also, if you are mingling with the public, remember to keep your social distance. It's very important to follow the three guidelines. And if you don't need to come out of your home, please stay wherever you are. We have apps that can you can actually order something online. So the rate at which the positive cases are coming in the country is not really looking good. So if you don't need to come out of your house, if you don't need to mingle with people, just live, just stay in your house. Remember, if you take care of yourself, you're not just doing that for yourself, you're doing that for everyone around you, the people you love, particularly the elderly people. You can see 60 and above, or rather, if you take from 40, 40, 40 to 49, all the way to 60 and above, we're talking we're talking of a number not less than 800 cases, positive cases yesterday out of the 1,698. So from the half cases we had yesterday, we're talking from 40 and above cases. So we see 40 years and above. So let's take care of ourselves. Let's take care for the young people. Let's take care of our parents and also the elderly at home. If you're there in the rural areas, remember not just mingle with these elderly people, because it's a third wave, no effect, but let's take care of ourselves. COVID is real. The numbers are getting higher. The numbers are coming closer home. Not just numbers, we know the people that are being affected. And as always, we don't need to stigmatize these people. They are people that we love, people that we work with, people around us, and people that we need all time. So if they need your help in any way possible, please be sure to give them that help. And yeah, we shall be giving you updates as they stream live from Afia House, or rather being given the numbers and the press release by the Ministry of Health. And talking about ministries, we go straight to the Ministry of Agriculture. And yesterday, or the day before yesterday, that's the 6th of April, the Cabinet Secretary of Ministry of Agriculture, that is Peter Munya, announced that dairy farmers are going to have their census, and this is for to better the planning and registration. This will help the government in understanding the pricing of their products, also meet the demands and address livestock diseases. And this, just to note, will be free of charge. So the ministry yesterday announced that there'll be census for dairy farmers and livestock. And this exercise is just to enable the government to understand the pricing of your products, the demands that you have, and address all the livestock diseases that you as a farmer, you as a dairy farmer or livestock keeper have. So remember, the census will be conducted in county wise. So every county, remember to visit your county officers or county officials, just talk to them, ask them about how or rather get to know the details from them, because the exercise will be conducted in every county, and from there the numbers will be taken to the national, or the tally will be done nationally. And all this is to enable the government to understand the pricing of your products, meet your demands, and also address all the livestock diseases and issues that you have. And just before we get to our topic of the day, just an hour ago, the royal family, that is in the United Kingdom, has announced It's in there, and I quote, just has released a press release and has announced that it is with deep sorrow that Her Majesty the Queen has announced the death of her beloved husband, His Royal Highness the Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, and His Royal Highness passed away peacefully this morning at Windsor Castle. So, in short, the Majesty or Her Royal Majesty has announced the death of her husband, that is Prince Philip, the Duke, or rather the Duke of Edinburgh, who passed away this morning at the Windsor Castle in the United Kingdom. So, for the royal family and the people of the United Kingdom, our condolences from right here at A Farmers Media as you continue to mourn the death of the Duke of Edinburgh. And so I think that's all for the updates, any updates and any announcement that need to be done. And remember also, if you have any issues regarding to agronomy, or if you need an agronomist, or if you need to be taken through from the step one of you've bought your land or you leased your land, you need to start from scratch. Remember, A Farmers is here. We can help you in any way possible. We give products and quality services at an affordable price. So remember, our price iko sawa na quality zetu pia ziko sawa na ziko juu. So if you need to talk to us on our Facebook page, that is A Farmers with A Farmers on Facebook with a Z at the end, and definitely someone will be at the end of that text or at the end of that DM to actually help you with anything regarding seedlings, anything, anything that is you need to do in your farm. We are here to help, to give you quality services, and also to give you affordable services and affordable. Our rates are very affordable, especially during these tough times in the economy. And we go straight now to our conversation of the day. Remember, you're talking about the rainy season. It's here. The long rains are here, and currently, right here in Kajiado County, we've been experiencing heavy rains almost for the last 2 weeks, and the farmers around here are very happy. So, with that, we need to understand how to go on, or how to deal with these rains, because it's either they destroy us, or either at the same time they will help us. So chaguo ni lako, and we are here. Remember, A Farmers is here to help everyone, every farmer. You as a farmer, you're out there, you don't know what to do, or probably you had bad experiences with the rains probably last year. We are here to help you on how to go on during these times of the rains, especially these long rains. They'll be here. Remember, we have said it's only two effects: either they destroy you and they help you in the farm. And so basically, every plant every plant out there needs some heavy moisture to survive. So the rains are very good, but if they are controlled, if you're able to prepare yourself, maybe you're out there, you're in another county that probably will experience rain from beginning of next week. You're there. Every farmer is always ready to experience the rain, and we know rain actually help us in so many things. So every farmer out there is prepared accordingly to have the rains, so that you can prepare yourself, either it's doing the planting or anything that you're doing. Remember to always prepare yourself in the right way possible. So from today, also next week, shall be talking everything to do with the rains, what you need to do, the pest you need, how you need to control your pests during these times. And today, so we are going to focus on the drainage, watering, and definitely, as we finalize, fertilizers. A very important question that so many people, so many farmers, or some of you ask: is it okay to use fertilizers during the rainy seasons? We shall be addressing that and much more. But first things first, the drainage. And this is actually a crucial factor for every plant or for every farmer to know how your drainage system is. Remember, we've talked about the rains, and the rains are it's nature. To control the rains, you need to be very prepared. We have seen what the rain has done, caused floods, caused a lot of damage, because it's very hard to control the rain as it comes. And so you need to be very prepared. When the rain comes, you need to know how to do your drainage and block or actually, sorry, you unblock or and you actually unblock everything that will actually block the drain or the how the water should pass through your farm. So you're talking about a blocked or choked hard soil can be a challenging situation for your plant or for any farm. So if you have anything that can block the way or the how the water flows to your farms or rather to your sources of water around you, will actually cause damage if you don't if you don't unblock anything that is choking that flow of water. So you need to keep proper drainage. The first thing you need to do, or the first things first, check for any blocked drainage in every holes. Prevent this actually prevents root rot. So, for example, this is your first day, or you've actually been preparing for the rain or for the rainy season, and you realize where my farm is, there's actually a lot of blockage or a lot of weeds, a lot of so many things that can block the flow of water. So the first things first you need to do is actually uh, get to know the block or what is blocking or the blockage. Then you need to remove that blockage, because the first things you need to do is ensure you have identified what is blocking the water or what is blocking anything that will tamper with the flow of water. So after you've identified, probably it's the weeds or some very very dry sticks or something, dry leaves that will block the flow of water. Now you need to remove them, remove the excess, remove all those blockages, whether it's the dry leaves that we are having there, the dry sticks or anything, or probably you having excess excess soil, so much soil that the will block the water. And remember, we are talking about the rains. This is not something that you can control. And probably if you having, this is ni mahali imezoea kupitia, hapa ndio maji imezoea kupitia, you can't stand in the way of water, especially rainy water. So you need to know how to control that water. You need to know this water passes through this place. All right, so you need to know this. These are the several blockages that we have in, whether we are talking about thick dry leaves, whether you're talking about the sticks, anything that, or maybe excess soil, anything that blocks the flow of water, itoe. So probably you've been experiencing the rains for close to 2 or 3 days. Now you can do it right now. You're there, you're not knowing what to do, or probably you've not identified the blockages around your farm. Now you know what to do right now. Probably you're in the second, third day um, of the rain. Remove excess soil, remove the blockages. We have talked about the dry leaves, zitoe zote. At the same time, cut all excess roots coming from uh, the holes. You know, if you have so too much excess roots, cut them sahi juu hizo sasa ndio zitakam kuleta a lot of excess soil, ndio zitakam kuleta hii blockage yote ya the flow of water. So you need to remove them as soon as possible. As soon as you have noticed the rain are about to start, or the rain this rainy period is about to be we are about to experience heavy rains, you need to do that as early as possible and as early as now. If you're in Kajiado County, you need to do it right now, especially if you're around Kitengela or and its environs. We're talking about Machakos and all those environs that are nearby Kajiado County. So you need to remove, talked about check any blockages. So identify the blockages that are leading to the drainage and all those holes, zitoe zote. And then this we've talked about preventing the root rot. So you're not just doing it to unblock the blocked drainage just doing it also for to prevent the root rot. So that's one. Two, remove excess soil. We've talked about excess, the excess soil will actually lead to, you know, hayo maji yatakuja yakae mahali pamoja, and this will bring a quote unquote kind of a flood. And this water, we've talked about water having two effects. It's either helps you or destroys you. You know what happens when we have stagnant water that is not moving, and it's very harmful to our bodies, our health, and also the plants around that stagnant water, and so many things. So if you don't unblock all this now, you're going to have the first effect of the rain that is destroying you. Secondly, if you follow all these guidelines, then you'll be having the second effects of where the water is helping you, and you're going to the second now, the second point, or the second effects, or the second effect, sorry, talking about watering. Now you have this excess water because it's the rain. You need to know how uh, people ask, or the farmers ask, do I need to water my garden or my farm when it's raining? Let me answer your question. So one, this is very, very essential for every plant. Watering is very, very essential. So more plants, actually, this is a very, it's a farm fact. We call them farm facts. More plants die during overwatering than underwatering. So remember, this is very tricky. You need to know when I need to water because it's raining and you're still being advised to water these plants. And so the fun fact that we have today is most plants die during the overwatering than the underwatering. So this is whereby um, most plants will die because it's raining, and you're out there. You don't know when to water and when to let nature take its course. So how to control water during the rainy season? Very simple. One, regular check water logging in the garden. How is the flow of water in that farm of yours? Remember, we're talking about overwatering. And when nature takes its course, that is rain, you don't need to. Now that's where you need to gauge. Do I need to add water, or ama iko hapa ndani iko tu sawa? So the first thing, regular checking of water logging. Haya maji yanaingiaje? Is it enough? Can it last for 2 to 3 days without uh, you physically watering the farm? If it's okay, well and good. But it's not enough. If it's not enough, you can do it physically by yourself. But if it's enough, let nature take its course. Secondly, once you find the drain, you found the drain water in any pits. Once now you found that water, right? Ushajua mali utatoa haya maji. Ensure that you've actually channeled this water to the farm. Once you've identified this rainy water is coming to a particular point, you can actually tengeneza a place. This is more of like recycling this water. You make a very, very uh, kind of a good place that you can recycle this water, and you're able to channel the water to the farm. Probably ukupale you've been hiring or renting. Is it you've been renting? Yeah, you've been renting pumps that will pump. Remember, we talked about where you should position your farm. Probably you are not advantaged enough to have your farm down the hill. You're having the farm above the source of water, so you need to pump because of gravity, and probably the cost of pumping is a bit costly. Yeah, but where your farm is, you have a place where you can you can create, or you can just make a place where water can just come, and you drain the water, the rainy water. Remember to put it very, very well, so that it's not just stagnant water, it's well maintained water. So from there you are able to drain this water into the farm. All right. So that's why we're talking about the rainy season. It's either here to destroy you or to help you even more or advance in your farming activities, or even get better and healthier quality products. So you've made this a small place of yours where you're draining all this rainwater. You're not making it go to waste. You're not letting it destroy your farm. So umeitengenezea mahali pamoja, inakuja ina land. It's like a small kadam of yours. See, necessarily ikuwe so big, just like a small place where now it's in one particular point. You're able to direct that water to your farm. And so you said, we are going to direct this water when we have already we have already checked if it's necessary to actually do the watering ourselves, or we are going to let the nature take its course. So you're here, you've made your place, you're able to channel this water to the farm. So the third thing that you need to do is remove plates and or planters that can store or hold rainwater. You know, this this particular point is things or planters that will actually hold too much rainwater, that itakufanya it's actually inakuchanganya ambavyo ujui kama yale maji yanaingia kwenye farm yako. You don't know if this water is getting to your farm or not, because this plant, we can call it a holder. It's holding too much water or too much rainwater. So it's not getting to the farm, neither is it getting to to the best point. So it's just holding water by itself. It's not helping you as a farmer. It's not helping the plant to grow or just be okay. So by the time it's holding so much water, alafu itafika point iachilie maji mengi, and you had already watered your farm or your shamba, then that will automatically be overwatering. So you must identify some planters or some plants that that are holding too much water, too much rainwater. Identify them and remove them. Remove those planters that identify that hold too much water, because it will come and destroy you. It will make you have you'll have overwatered your plants. And remember, this is the point where you're talking about having so many plants die during this time of overwatering. So remember to identify those planters that store or hold rainwater too much. Remove them so that we can have a smooth flow of water. Tusikuwe na hoda ambao wanashikilia maji mengi na hayaingii kwenye shamba lako. Alright? So the fourth thing you need to do is water only if the soil gets completely dry and the plants start wetting. Alright? Don't just This is where now you need to do a lot of observation. For example, during the night, it rains for a period of probably 3 to 4 hours straight, non-stop. Then you wake up in the morning, because you go to your shamba very early in the morning, talking about from 6 to 8, you're in your shamba, and you realize the soil is still very, very wet, has a lot of moist. You don't need to plant. You don't need to water that farm of yours. 3 to 4 hours of non-stop rain, that's okay. But if you get to a point where you've noticed the soil is so dry and the plants are starting to turn to the yellow color, now you need to go back to physical watering of your plants. The yellow color symbolizes, especially the leaves. That's wheaty. We have gotten to that point, and it's not a good point. So two things: identify if the soil is very dry, or the plants or the leaves are starting to turn yellow. That's when it's important to water the soil when it's raining. All right. So Talking about watering, remember we've talked about drainage, which is very important in every aspect or every plant. It's always important to know your drainage, not just get your plant, because you have subdivided your land into very good portions. So ensure the drainages are still okay even during the rainy season. And talking about watering, ensure you're not doing excess or watering amount overdo, and ensure you control the water the right way. It's very challenging to control this water, especially the rainy water, because it's nature. But you, there at home as a farmer, you need to ensure you have observed some of the guidelines. We're talking about checking your water loggages, talking about the draining water. You've already made sure you had a place for it. Remove the planters that are hoarders, they are retaining too much water. And also make sure you water. It's necessary to water even if it's raining. Water your shamba or water the soil when it's dry, or you have noticed the leaves are very yellow. So when we come back, we'll be talking about the two aspects of soil preparation, which are very key, especially during this rainy season. All that after this short break.
Drip irrigation is a type of micro irrigation system, or sometimes called trickle irrigation, that has potential to save water and nutrients by allowing water to drip slowly to the roots of plants, either from above the soil surface or buried below the surface from a system of small diameter plastic pipes fitted with outlets called emitters or drippers. The emitters slowly drip water into the soil at the root zone, therefore moisture levels are kept at optimum range, thus improving plant productivity. You can grow different crops using drip irrigation, be it tomatoes, spinach, skuma wiki, beetroots, celery, and many more crops will thrive using drip irrigation method. Drip irrigation is especially beneficial as it provides better plant health, less waste, reduced risk of diseases, money saving, weed control, and saves time. Drip irrigation is the most efficient water and nutrient delivery system for growing crops. Beetroot is a highly nutritious root vegetable. The beetroot is the top proportion of a beet plant. It is one of the many varieties of the genus Beta vulgaris, all of which are mostly grown for their edible taproots and leaves. Beetroot is a root crop that takes approximately 3 to 4 months to mature. Beetroot is a fairly easy crop to grow as long as the soil is well cultivated prior to planting. Beetroots do not enjoy wet, boggy or shady soils. Beetroot can be sown in trays and transplanted when the seedlings have 2 true leaves. Plant in full sun, space seedlings 10 to 15 centimeters apart, and rows 20 centimeters to 30 centimeters apart so they have room to grow. Beetroots are also ideal for containers or raised beds. Beetroots will happily thrive in small areas as long as there's at least 20 centimeters depth of soil. Beetroot has been used not only for food but also for treatment for numerous conditions.
And 10 minutes to 4 p.m. right here on A Farmers Media, where we are always about one thing and one thing only, telling the story of an African farmer. Definitely, this is the Drive Show with me, Conrad Kibe, or the Farm Drive Show with me, Conrad Kibe, and you shall be doing this until 5 p.m. Remember, our times have changed, but due to some unavoidable circumstances, we had to start the show at 3 p.m. But beginning on Monday, it's 2 to 4 p.m. just to ensure that we have followed or we are in line with the protocols as by directed by the president last month, because we are actually in the among the 5 red zones in the country, that is Nairobi, Kajiado, Machakos, Nakuru, and which other county? Kiambu. We are in the 5 red zones that the curfew begins at 8 p.m. So for us to be on the safe side, the Farm Drive show begins at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. But all other shows remain the same. That is the breakfast show at 8 to 10, the mid-morning show 11:30 to 1:30. So everything eco salama. But for us right here on the Farm Drive show, it's 2 to 4. But today, mtatusamehe kidogo, because of unavoidable circumstances, we had to start at 3, lakini bado tunaendelea. And today we're talking about tips on how to farm during this rainy season. And just before we went on a break, we were talking about so much, but in during our updates or announcements, we made an announcement that the Duke of Edinburgh, that is Prince Philip, is no more. He died today or morning at just peacefully in a Windsor Castle. And what is interesting is that he died at the age of 99. And hold that thought, 99, quite some quality years on this earth. But what has shocked me is that he was married to Her Royal Majesty or Queen Elizabeth for 74 years. Yes, 74 years of marriage have ended today. And that's, I mean, that's a challenge for we as young people. Wengine hata 74 hours tushachoka, but others like Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth have been married for 74 years. So for the royal family and the people of the United Kingdom, Paul Sana, and our condolences we pass right here as A Farmers Media. We pass in our condolences, but we offer our condolences actually, because I don't know what to say about a death. The death is really something that we can't really control, and something else we can't really control is the rain. If we are not ready to control, we are not ready for the rains, then it's very, very hard to control these rains. But here at A Farmers, I can see one by the name Kevin Care. Anasema he's a victim. He's a victim. I think he was affected one time. Mvua ilimfanya ile kitu. Ilimnyeshea, ilimfanyia vizuri. But we are here to help you, Kevin. So Kevin Care, just continue following, tutakusaidia na hutapitia ile kitu tena. Will at least the next time, or rather this time, you'll be prepared more. You'll not have losses when you're going through or when you're preparing your farm during this heavy rainy season. So going to the next point, we remember before we went on a short commercial break, we talked about the drainage and watering. Now we're on our third point, that's the soil. And we talked about 2 important aspects regarding the soil preparation. One, we are talking about leveling of the soil in the garden or the farm, and loosening of soil near the root ball of every plant. So those are the 2 aspects of soil preparation. That is leveling of the soil in the farm ama shamba yako. And secondly, loosening of the soil near the root ball of every plant or every whatever you have in your shamba. So these are the 2 main aspects. And now straight to how to prepare soil for a rainy season. So if you are like Kevin there, you have undergone through loss, or you have undergone through destruction. The rain really made you feel like you'll quit farming. Kuja kidogo sasa tuongee. Let's listen in now to how on how to prepare soil for this rainy season. So the first thing you need to do is start with gardening the plants or remove any weeds or grass near your farm. All right, anza kugarden. Ukishaangalia weather forecast, you know we are living in the internet era where everyone has an access to internet. So ukiangalia weather forecast yako hivi, uangalie hapa mvua ni kama itakuja next week, ama it's in a few days, ama ishaanza na you're not around. Make a phone call ambaye anakuchungia hiyo shamba, mwambie to garden that, start removing any weeds or any grass around that place, because now grass, we know definitely it will cause stagnant water. That's for sure. And also the same as weeds, I mean. So if you have that stagnant water, the causes are so many, or the effects are so many. So you don't need that, especially when you're taking advantage of the rain. This is free water. So if you don't control this free water, itakufanya ile kitu. So you need to actually know how to prepare for this rainy season and how to prepare the soil. Usi hata hiyo sipatwe off guard. So the first thing we have said is garden that plant, or garden the plants. Remember to remove all the weeds, unwanted zote zitoe, and the grass around that kashamba of yours. Hizo grass unaonanga ziko bigi, zitoe for now, especially during this. And remember, you're experiencing now the long rains. Remove them, zitoe zote. So that now the second point you need to do, or the second thing you need to do, is level the soil slightly inclined outwards. So this one is very simple. You level the soil, but you're not leveling inwards. All right? Una level soil outwards. Unaitoa vizuri. Yani you just level and make sure the soil is in, not really in layman's language, let's just say in a straight line, but it's not in a straight line as technically, but you're just leveling the ground or the soil. Make sure you're doing it outward, in a very outward way. Usilete pamoja hivi ndani. This is not leveling. You'll not be leveling inside. Utafika mahali sasa itakamiclog, alafu itashika maji mengi. And now you'll have done no work. Utakuwa sasa umepiga hard work, lakini you have not worked smart. So level the soil outwards, right? So remember, the first thing ushafanya before you get to the soil, or before you get to the shamba, hiyo kitu ushafanya nje. The first thing, you have removed the weeds, ziko nje. The tall grass that you have around your shamba, umetoa nje. The second thing, now get to the shamba, and when you're at it, level the soil outwards, right? Now that still, as you level the soil, ensure no stagnant water can hold near the roots. Sasa uko kwenye ile shamba, just probably just figure out, or just have the picture of your shamba right now. You have it? Okay, good. You see how it looks like, yeah? Unaiangalia, ipige look moja, unaangalia just in your mind. Just have that photo of how your shamba looks like. Angalia ni wapi kunaweza kuwa na stagnant water. Farmers know how their shamba looks like. Wanajua pale we can create a drainage, pale hapana, pale ni pa incline kidogo, pale pana kuanga juu. Now you have it in your mind right now as you're speaking, right? Unajua maliko. So ensure no stagnant water. You know where the higher place is, you know where the lower place is. So ensure as you're leveling, umeilevel vizuri. And kando pia, you ensure kuna mahali panaweza hold water, any stagnant water. Okay? Still, usiachilie picha, kaa tu nao kwa akili. Hapo tu. Ishikilie tu hapo. Check out for any pits or holes where water can log. Uko na ile picha yako ya shamba. Just fantasize with it, okay? Just have it right now. Real time, okay? Now, check out for any pits or holes where water can log. Angalia, ushapiga leveling. Tunaenda pamoja. Remember, kwa ile shamba, we have removed the weeds or the grass. Alright? Tusha level outwards. Tumeipiga hivi. So I know in your mind you've already leveled your soil. We have ensured no stagnant water. Now we are checking out for any pits or logins where water can log in. Alright? Tushajua hapa maji inaweza ingia fiti sana. without having stagnant water. It's moving, it's flowing. We should identify your place. We are at the fourth point now. We have already identified where water can log. All right, tuko salama, tuko sawa. The fourth point, or the fourth thing that you need to do, if the pit or the pit is away from your plant, then make it as big as possible. Sawa, angalia shamba yako. For example, ndio hii shamba yako, right? And the pits umezitengeneza hapa kando. So you're okay. They are near your shamba. But probably if the pits are away from your plants, then make it as big as possible. This helps in if the pit is away from your plant, then make it as big as possible. Okay, make it as big as possible. Itengeneze ikuwe kubwa so that it can hold a lot of water. And this one will help in one, rainy water. You'll harvest that water. The way we were saying before, when we started the show, when you have that place to eat a pits for now, yeah, you'll have held water that can help you later on. You've harvested the water actually, umeifungia mahali, but this, remember, this is not this should be different from stagnant water. Stagnant water, in layman's language, it's just unwanted water. Haifai kuwa hapo. It's in the wrong place, especially when you have tall grass na maji iko tu hapo tu. That's not helping in any way. It's very unwanted water. So but here ushatengeneza, ni mahali ambapo umetengeneza, very good place. So let's make it as big as possible. Kama iko mbali, this will hold your water for long. Uko na ka place kako, and this will help especially those people who are above their source of water. And you are talking about hard or tough times right now, where you don't probably have a lot of money where you can get to pump water every time. So use that, take that advantage right now. You have your pits, uko na maji enough, can last you for some few days, and now you'll save the money because of another day, and yakutakuwa na excess water or long rains, na una do ya kupump maji manzeni, lazima upump ama ujeka drip irrigation system, you'll use this water. So nakuibia siri, okay? The fifth point is make small trenches and tunnels from all over your garden and load them to the pits. Effective way of water management. This is a very effective way of water management when you make small trenches and tunnels. But now when you're making them, ensure they are very, 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 very hakuna kitu inahinda the flow of water. Make sure it's clear. It's a clear path or clear tunnel or clear trench where water can flow without any anything hindering the water from flowing. Because now if you hinder, it will overflow. Tuseme ikutane na you're making your tunnels, but haukuondoa mawe fulani, a very big rock. Now the rock will actually divert the water. And now there this leads to overwatering. So make sure the drainage or the tunnels that you've dug or the trenches are very clear. Hakuna kitu ambacho itasimamia hayo maji kupita. So the water is flowing in a very, very clear manner. And this actually we've talked about being an effective way of water management. Very simple. This is our shamba. So we are digging tunnels, and these are our tunnels. Hizi ni tunnels zetu ambazo tumetengeneza. They are passing through, right? They are passing through. And so when you're digging these tunnels or trenches, make sure they are clear. There's nothing. Ziko hivi tu. There's nothing that. This is a very perfect example. Ziko hivi. This is your tunnel, all right? Don't make sure everything is clear like this. Nothing, because like this will cause diversion of water, because the water inakuja inagonga hapa, either inakuwa mingi hapa, inaingia hivi. And this is a tunnel, this is a shamba, and this is a shamba. So if you don't clear these tunnels or trenches, maji yanakuja yanagonga hapa, yanaingia kwa shamba tu uncontrolled. Remember, you're talking about rainy water. You cannot control this nature. Just it's just hard to control. Alright, so inakuja inagonga hapa, inaingia kwa hii side ya shamba, ama inagonga hapa, inaingia side ya shamba, ama inakuja tu inakuja ina clog yote hapa, alafu yote inaingia ndani, and all your plants you have, they are destroyed. So make sure when you're creating those trenches or tunnels, they are very clear. Water can pass through very easily. Flow is okay. There's nothing that is diverting that water. The sixth thing is cover the roots of the plants with organic mulch, and probably use dry leaves or other kitchen waste for these purposes. So cover the roots of the plant with organic mulch, and you've talked about using the dry leaves. This is very important, or probably kitchen waste. So you cover the roots of the plants. All right, remember we talked about the roots of the plant, or over or excess roots of the plant can cause a lot of damage. So make sure you cover those roots. Kama ziko juu sana, make sure you cover them in the right way. All right, so before you go to pruning and deheading, let's recap on the soil. And quick first, two aspects. There's one, loosening of the soil, and also leveling of the soil. So those are two aspects that are really necessary, and you have said they are very necessary, because the first thing, or how to actually prepare soil for the rainy season, we are helping each other here, right? So you have talked about starting wherever you are. Probably you're wondering, sasa mimi nitafanyaje hii, and I'm away from my shamba, I cannot get to that point. I'm in Machakos, shamba yangu iko probably in another county, iko Trans Nzoia. Sasa tutasaidiana aje, cessation of movement and all that. Now you have the points. You are educated, or you have gained a little bit of knowledge on how to handle your farm during these times of the rainy season. Now you know how to do it. You probably don't need to be there. Just the way I'm explaining to you, or probably you'll do a little bit of more of research. Now you can explain to that person ambaye anakuchungia shamba huko Trans Nzoia na huko hapa Kajiado. You can explain to them on with the language, that whatever language you feel comfortable to, they will understand, or it's comfortable to you. Just explain to them pole pole tu, waambie mahali huko, identify those weeds that are around that kashamba of ours, zitoe zote, toa zote, and the grass around that kashamba of yours. So don't get worried, don't be there sitting in fear and saying, sasa hizi vitu zote sijafanya, kumeanza kunyesha, nasikia Trans Nzoia mvua inanyesha, you're there thinking, now what am I gonna do? I'm at work, things are not okay, you don't have all these things. Worry not. If you have someone who is anakuchungia hiyo shamba, and probably the both of you don't know how to handle that, now you have the information. You as a farmer, talk to them. Probably ataenda asaidie mtu mwingine or their neighbors. All right, so I've talked about removing any weeds or grass around that shamba. Secondly, we have talked about level the soil slightly and incline outwards. Unaitoa nje, outwards, not inwards. And you have talked about ensuring that no stagnant water is around your farm. Hiyo inakuwa ni mbaya sana. And check out for any pits or holes where water can log in. And also, if you have these pits or holes, or wherever you're holding the water, make them as big as possible, because this one will help you in rain harvesting, and will help you for another, we say rainy day, but quote unquote rainy day, siku ambayo hakutakuwa na mvua. That's what I needed to say. And also make small trenches and tunnels from all over your shamba. And you've talked about making sure there are no distractions that will divert the water to another place and cause overflooding or flooding and overwatering your plants. Because as a farm fact, we saw that Overwatering, actually, most plants die during overwatering. So when we come back, it's all about one question that people ask mostly: should I use fertilizers during the rainy season? That's a question we shall be answering, and definitely coming back with the most interesting segment of this show. That's the pan of the day. All that after this short break. Yeah, it's quarter past 4 p.m. right here on a Farmers Media where we are always about one thing only, telling the story of an African farmer. Na tuko katika kipindi cha Lala Salama right here on the Farm Drive show. And definitely you know what happens during the kipindi cha Lala Salama. We always have the pan of the day. And today's pan is very, very interesting. Remember, all our pans are farm related pans, agriculture related pans, and definitely farm animal pans. And today's pan of the day, as if my director can just bring it up on the screen, and says, operating a solar farm is probably easy. After all, it's a light crop. That is the pan of the day. Remember, the pan of the day comes during, or rather, is right here on the farm drive. Every time we have the kipindi cha Lala Salama, just know you'll be treated to a pan of the day, a pan that involves uh, farm products, farm animals, and definitely agriculture related pans. Every time right here on the Farm Drive show. And always right here on the Farm Drive show, again, we always insist on following the COVID-19 protocols as given or directed by the Ministry of Health. And we are seeing so many numbers in terms of positive cases. So the testing or the samples still increasing, but we are still having numbers still very high. Remember, we have already hit 2,200 plus deaths since last year. We're currently at 1,443 1,063 positive cases. So the numbers are not looking good. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to follow the guidelines put in place by the government. Let's not just be angry, be ruled by your emotions. Let's bit think about our lives, think about ourselves. So we need to mask up properly, wear your mask properly. Let's also maintain social distance, especially when you're using the public service vehicles. Please just have that distance. Or if you're going to town, you with people in the public, just keep that distance of yours. And most importantly, if you're getting to any building, if you're touching any, you're using or you're sharing anything with the people, make sure you sanitize, because it's necessary and it's very important to follow those three guidelines. And if you're out there, you're feeling sicklish, you're feeling you're not very, very unwell, don't self-medicate yourself. Just go to hospital, mambo yatakuwa sawa. And as always, don't stigmatize those positive, or those who are positive or found to have COVID-19. Just be there for them, because they need you, because these numbers are not just numbers. We're getting people that we know, people that we love, people around us, people we work with, and it's not getting any easier for everyone around the world. Osio. So let's keep safe, let's protect ourselves, our loved one, and everyone around us. As we wind up the show, we talked about one simple question, or one thing that actually inatatiza watu. Should you use fertilizers during the rainy season? Before you get your answer, let's get to pruning and deheading. And this is very simple how to do this. Remember, you can only prune your plants even before your rainy season. So if you're there, bado mvua kufikia, you're wondering sasa ifike alafu ni prune. No, you can do it even before the rains. And also, if you're experiencing the rains, fanya kama unaona bado hakuna dalili za destruction, just do it right now. It's easier said than done, and it's better late than never. So just do it as soon as possible. Esa, take. And then the second thing, remove extra branches. Or this is the first thing, actually. That one was just a note to highlight that you can do this before the rainy season starts. And so the first thing you need to do is remove the extra branches and leaves using a pruner, or probably a sharp knife. Yeah, that one can work. Anything sharp, or any probably the best thing to use is a pruner. Just make sure you remove the extra branches and leaves. And the second thing you need to get, or you need to do, is inspect every plant carefully for any infected leaves or branch. Remember that if one single branch or one leaf is affected, the whole of the rest of the leaves and branches will be affected. So make sure you're carefully inspecting these leaves. If you see the yellow color, remember it's beating. So fanya hima. If it's watering, do the necessary that is required. So all this you'll be spotting during the rainy seasons, and definitely you'll be spotting when you're doing the pruning. So it's very key to follow those guidelines. The fourth thing is wash the plants with fungicides or pesticide solutions. So make sure you follow the pruning, and it's very necessary to actually inspect the plants, just know ni gani mbaya. Wanasema, Waswahili wanasema kiazi kimoja kikioza zote zitaoza. So make sure you, if it's one leaf or one branch that has a problem, ensure you rectify it as soon as possible before it becomes a problem to the whole plant. So let's get to that question that everyone is waiting for, or everyone or you have been trying to figure it out, and that is fertilizers. Should we use the fertilizers during the rainy seasons? So one answer only. It's up to you. That is up to you. There's no yes or no. It's up to you. And this is why. Plants stop consuming fertilizers when the soil is so heavy or heavily wet and soggy, and too much moisture interferes with natural optimistic or homotomic pressure of the roots, or the natural pressure of the roots. So that's one thing to note, that plants stop consuming fertilizers when the soil is so wet and soggy, and too much moist actually interferes with a natural pressure of the roots. That's one thing to note. All right. Second thing, if you add fertilizers, it will flow away with water or change the soil pH. So if you add fertilizers during the rainy season, probably more often than not, these fertilizers will flow away with the water that is passing by, and more often than not, again, your soil pH will change. All right. However, if you can fertilize, if you can use fertilizers, then you need to keep your crops or your plantation very, very healthy. And these are some of the things that you need to apply. If you need to actually observe when you're applying fertilizer during the rainy season. One, apply quality, that is either organic or inorganic fertilizer, or a mixture of both to each plant. And we're having two people here. One is applying the fertilizers some days before the rain. The other is applying the same fertilizer during the rain. It's okay to do any, either 15 to 20 days before the rain, or probably before the rains start to become very heavy and very big. So it's okay. So you need to apply the quality fertilizers, that's either organic or inorganic, before the rain or the first rain. So it's either or. Either you apply some days before, a month before, or ikikupata off guard, we apply. But I'll tell you how to do it if maybe you're in the rainy season. I'll show you why my answer is still, it's up to you. There's no yes or no. Because if you're going for no, it's because probably you've had the plants will stop consuming fertilizers where the soil is so heavy or wet. We'll get to that. The second thing is organic compost or manure is okay, and it will feed plants for the next 2 months. So you see, if you apply the organic manure, it will feed the plants for the next 2 months, probably when it's raining or after the rains. So this is another why you need to apply the fertilizer. All right. So these are some of the reasons. And now, just to come and you know try and understand what we are talking about, is one, when you apply fertilizers, either organic or inorganic, it's up to you. That's why my answer is up to you. Because if we're talking about the fertilizers being carried away by water, then it means you've going back to this. There's what you having diversions. When you're having diversions, there'll be a lot of water in your farm or where the plants are. And I'm 100% sure when you apply fertilizers at that stage, when you're having diversions, your tunnels, your trenches are not clear, and you apply fertilizers, then they will swim away or they will flow away with the water, and your soil will change your pH. No other way. But at the same time, you have your diversions, all right, and you don't apply the fertilizers because you're there thinking, when I apply fertilizers haitasaidia. In fact, hata soil haiwezi chukua fertilizer because it's very very wet and soggy, so hata haitasaidia na hakuna kitu itafanyika. And then you have your diversions again, haujaponea, you will have destruction of your farm. But now you have to be smart. Don't just go with a yes or no answer. You need to sit down, you need to analyze, and probably that's why you need a farmers, because we have agronomists who will help you come visit your farm, especially during this rainy season, and tell you this one, hata ukitumia fertilizer bado hapa kutakuwa na maji mingi, hata uweke tunnel ziko sawa, hapa kutakuwa na overflow of water. So you don't really need to use fertilizers, or probably you can do this 1 2 3 things and you'll be okay. So you need help to come up with these answers. Don't just assume wherever you are, you assume mimi niko sawa, you have already done everything that is supposed to be done, leveled my soil, leveled everything. Just talk to us, tell us you have 1 or 2 things, call us, let's visit your farm, let's know if all this we need to apply is necessary. All right, so we are here. Remember, we'll give you quality services at an affordable price, and as always our prices ziko sawa na quality yetu iko juu. So if you are like Kevin Care and you need so much help, or probably you have had bad experiences during the rainy seasons when it comes to planting, we are here to help you. And the knowledge that I've given you today for the last 1 hour, I hope has helped kidogo. Unaweza ongeza na a bit of research, and definitely kidogo na usaidizi wa agronomist. Remember, we can help you right here. So go to that Facebook page right now, talk to us, tuambie uko na shida inakaje. We can visit your farm and we see what you can do, because we offer quality services at an affordable rate. So we'll take a short commercial break, alafu kwa wale ambao wako kwenye msafara wa kwenda nyumbani ama wanaenda kazini, you are an essential service provider huko kazini, I'll be giving you the traffic updates, all that when we come back after this short break. And yes, this is a farmers media where we are always about one thing only, telling the story of an African farmer. And as we are winding up on the show tonight, tonight, nishafika usiku anyway. This is a farm drive with me, Conrad Kibe. And just to give you some traffic updates, watu wa Mombasa Road leo muko salama because traffic, there's no traffic until Imara Daima. Mambo iko shwari, mufti kabisa Mlolongo all the way to Gateway Mall. Traffic kidogo inashikana pale around on I think that's Imara Daima. Yes, Imara Daima. So watu wa Southern Bypass, you are good to go. Watu wa hapo karibu hapo Airtel, you're good to go. And watu wangu wa wapi, watu wangu wa Kiambu and Kiambu Road, all that way, traffic doesn't really look bad on your way to Kasarani. Kidogo kidogo hapo Ruaraka hapo ndio imeshikana kidogo, but you are mambo iko shwari until all the way to Kasarani, Githurai, kwenda hadi watu wa Roiro, mambo iko mufti, iko shwari. Watu wangu wa Lang'ata, remember pale Mbagathi, as always pale ni parking lot iko pale. And but apart from there, until ufike mahali panaitwa wapi, hapa Bomas, just before Bomas, hapo ndio traffic inaanza, watu wa Lang'ata Road. And watu wa Kenyatta Hospital, if you're using Mbagathi way, remember hapo from Valley Road all the way to Mbagathi Road, hapo kidogo parking lot. And yeah, I think that's all. Na watu wangu wa Westlands kama kawaida, mambo ni yale yale. Watu wa Chiromo Road, if you're using Westlands, Muthangari, mambo haiko shwari. So remember to take care of yourselves. It's very very wet at during in the roads, so remember to take care of yourselves. If you're a driver, please be careful on the roads. Be careful on the roads. We are sharing new we are getting into the weekend, but it's not just a normal weekend for the people in Nairobi, Kajiado, Machakos, Kiambu, and wapi kwingine. Yes, all those are the 5 red zones. Remember, there is no entertainment, hakuna ile one for the road. So at 8 you need to be home, but for the rest of the country, remember to take care of yourselves during this weekend. Kama unaenda mahali kujienjoy, kujivinjari, just take care of yourselves, because we need you right here on Monday. Lillian, Thomas and I need you. Lillian needs you at 8 and I definitely need you at 2 p.m. So mask up, wear your mask properly, maintain that social distance, and definitely sanitize when necessary. So take care of yourselves. Just have a lovely weekend. Be kind to one another. Tukutane hapa Monday, Mungu akitaka. Au sio?